Hello, good afternoon today, not good morning. It is 3:30 in Los Angeles. It's Saturday, October 15th. Welcome to My Left Ear. I am Carrie Freeman. This is video 62, and this channel is about political and psychic commentary. I am a Democrat. So if you're voted for Trump, you will not like this channel, and I think you should move on. It'll aggravate you. That being said, what I do is I'm a change agent, and what I do is psychic coaching, and you can email me at the email below, and I'll send you a cheat sheet about that. Very effective. It helps move energy. I call myself a change agent. And I use therapeutic hypnosis also for the process. Now, I'm going to cover at least one really controversial issue. So I must say, this is for entertainment purposes only. And this is my take, my left ear's take on the current climate. So I'm going to start with the most how do I call it, explosive thing that I'm going to share with you. This is about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and somebody on Twitter has nicknamed her Margie 3 names, and I kind of love it. Now, let me explain. A few days ago on Twitter, someone posted a rather brilliant video. Actually, it was 2 videos. The top video was Marjorie Taylor Greene in pants walking through the halls of the Capitol, and she was flanked by some men. And then it cut to the black and white footage of the mystery bomber from January 6th that we do not know who that is yet, and we don't know what the FBI knows. Lots of footage out there that people have been studying. So now there's her walking, there's the bomber walking, and most people feel that this was a female. Now, I looked at it over and over and over, and there was one thing that really popped out to my left ear, and that is when Margie was walking down the halls of the Capitol, her left arm was swinging in a very specific manner, very specific movement that was repetitive. It wasn't like a little swing and then a big swing and then no, it was a very rhythmic, almost like this is what she does all the time. Then when you cut to the bomber coming around a corner, the bomber, the person who's going to place the pipe bombs or bomb, is swinging their arm exactly the same way. I watched it over and over and over again. And my left ear said, she's most likely the bomber. I know this is really controversial for me to say. That's why I'm going to go back to my opinion, entertainment purposes only, because it's a very it's just a hotbed to talk about. I mentioned it on Twitter. I said, listen, eerily, I actually think it's her. And other people said, it is her. Now, if this is the case, I believe, my left ear believes, the FBI has a clue already, or clues already. They're not going to show their cards. So what I did was I threw the runes. I just wanted to see what they would say. Now, the first rune, I'm not pulling the runes and showing them today for time constraints. I pulled the first rune, which is Journey. And Journey is something that has 2 sides, visible and not visible. And that would describe Marjorie, that she's visible as a congresswoman, and then not visible if she's the bomber. So that kind of made sense. Then also with Journey, it didn't say this in the book, I'm reframing it. it indicates whoever pulls journey is going to go through some things. Okay, that was the first rune. The second rune was breakthrough. Now, one would think, oh, that's her breakthrough. But no, it's the Democrats' breakthrough. And it indicates that the timing is right and the outcome assured. Meaning, we'll find out. And then the third rune is really interesting. It's gateway reversed. So gateway is standing on the precipice, like of an opening, of a shift, of a new change. But the reverse is acting from weakness, creating new problems that could be more severe, and decisions that cause regret. And that would be MTG. All I can say is this came in very strongly. I can always be wrong, of course, but I wanted to share this with you because it's really powerful. I'm telling you this. I wish I could share you the video, but I wouldn't know how to do that. It's on Twitter, and someone put it together. Whoever did it was very, very clever. They noticed this arm swinging. It's really telling. That's all I can tell you. It's the same exact body language. And lately, as I watch her, which is minimal because she's pretty sickening, she looks very stressed to me. And there are close-ups of her face where her skin is red and her nose is kind of bulbous, and she looks like a drinker. And she might be drinking more. Because she just looks scared to me, to my left ear, to me and my left ear. So that's the biggie I wanted to talk about. I imagine some of you are going to write me and have, some opinions. I've got 2 more runes to pull, but I'm gonna go on briefly to Steve Bannon because his future is sort of up in the air. This Tuesday, the January 6th committee will vote about, I'm sorry, I lost my place, about criminal contempt. And then it will go to the floor of the House, and it will pass the floor of the House because we have that small majority. Then it goes to the acting U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. Federal Court, and that man's name is Channing Phillips. He's a career DOJ official, and he decides. But general consensus is he will confer with Merrick Garland. Then approved, I believe, goes to the grand jury. And then Merrick Garland will have to make a decision. Now, I believe it was yesterday, Joe Biden came out, kind of made a surprise statement that he hoped that the GOP, would move forward with this, which he hasn't talked about so far. He got criticized for it, and I said, please, can you please review the last 4 years? He didn't order anything. He just said what he would hope. He said his opinion. And Adam Schiff, expects the Justice Department to prosecute. And I wrote a note about Garland, just that he's getting pressure to step up. And by the way, someone from the DOJ came out after Biden gave his opinion and really said, it's not up to you. It was very strong language. And I went, why didn't anybody do that with, Bill Barr was the problem. I think Bill Barr was running the country. But I think there's a squeeze on Merrick Garland, and he's really going to be forced to step up. Now, this past week, Trump made a threat to the GOP, and it was like another quid pro quo. And I copied the message, so I'm just going to read it to you. I think there's more, but I couldn't find it. He wrote, or he sent out this message: if we don't solve the presidential election fraud of 2020, which we have thoroughly and conclusively documented, Republicans will not be voting in 22 or 24 because it is the single most important thing for Republicans to do. So basically, he's saying either stand with me or be a traitor and I will destroy you. The GOP is quaking. I don't think you have to be psychic to know that, because it appears that he's damaging voter turnout. Unbelievable. It's like, and this is not a surprise, really. I shouldn't have said unbelievable, because I expect the worst from him, and I'm surprised at people that do not. So I pulled runes, friends. Now, this is really interesting. The first rune I pulled was the blank rune. There's nothing on either side, and it is considered the rune that is unknowable. It is both the ending and the beginning of something. It's the evidence of immediate contact with one's destiny. It is the path of karma. Now here's the clue. It can portend a death. Now I quoted the book. Sum total of your actions and their consequences. It is the sum total. So if you think about the sum total of the GOP's actions and their consequences. Now we move to the rune of movement. Now, this has to do more with the Democrats. It's movement in the sense of improving or bettering a situation, steady progress, which the Democrats actually are making. And it says, it is time to turn and face the future. The last one is the kicker. It is the rune of gateway reversed. And it indicates that the GOP will probably act from a place of weakness, because whoever pulls this, it's about acting from a place of weakness, deceiving oneself, and creating new problems that are more severe. And strangely, I believe, Marjorie Taylor Greene got gateway as her final rune also. Don't you think that's interesting? Out of all these runes, the GOP got it as the final nail, and Marjorie Three Names got it as the final rune. This happens sometimes, and I find it fascinating. It leads me to say, in my left ear to say, that Trump has weakened the GOP turnout. Now, we have a ways to go. We've got a year. This is where it looks right now. Because there are people that listen to him. And they're like, they don't really realize that not voting is kneecapping the Republicans. So there's that. Now, one more thing about Trump. I believe, and others believe, that this week he really showed his dementia. And what it was, in the middle of some kind of speech rally, he said, and I never liked golden showers. What? Now, 5 years ago or 4 years ago, there was this report about Trump in Russia with hookers, and I kind of don't want to describe golden showers, but if you don't know what they are, just Google that he partook and witnessed and blah, blah, blah. Very seedy. But for him to draw that from 5 years ago, into a rally speech, out of the blue, is pure dementia. It's not eccentricity, it's dementia. The brain is cratering, and this is very common with dementia. People go back in time. So it was stunning. it's one of the reasons that the runes in my left ear do not feel he's actually going to run. I think he's punking everyone. And now finally I'm going to talk about Virginia, because it's this governor race in Virginia is so vital to the whole picture. And we have a previous governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe, who's running again. And he's a good man, Terry McAuliffe, Democrat. I pulled the rune of movement about this, but it was reversed. And what it says is, it's the first rune, what is yours will come to you. Avoid action. It tells me that he doesn't need to do anything more than what he's doing. Then I pulled the rune of disruption, which really is for the GOP. I'm interpreting things, which I've been doing for many, many years. This disruption has to do with the GOP. It indicates change. That's what it indicates. Change. Blowing it up. And the final rune is breakthrough. There's a major shift, a period of achievement, often a period of prosperity. And breakthrough is the final rune. Ba-dum-bum. My left ear feels, by the way, my left ear, before I pulled the runes, I thought, oh, McAuliffe is going to win. He's slightly ahead, not a lot, I think by 3 points. The feeling is very good. He's up against a lousy Republican named Kingsman. I don't think Kingsman's going to win, okay? We don't think it. So we'll see. I am sharing. One piece of good news, good evidence for Justice Andrew McCabe, former FBI director. I don't know if you remember, but Trump fired him like 3 days before his retirement and cut off his lifetime pension. That's the work of a psychopath, sociopath. Nobody in their right mind does that. So McCabe sued, and he won, and he's getting all of his retirement, all of his pension. He beat Donald Trump. It's really good. Good for Andrew McCabe. As we know, there's much more to discuss. I didn't want this to be a long one today. I'm watching Texas. I'll talk about it next video. The choice issue. I don't really love abortion. And I don't know if you know who Stevie Van Zandt is. He's been playing with the E Street Band and Bruce Springsteen for years, and he was on the Sopranos. He's a really cool guy, and he was on Ari Melber. I don't even have this written down. I'm just sharing it with you. And he said, number one, he thinks Joe Manchin is a traitor. I agree. But God, what else was I going to say that Stephen Van Zandt said? Oh my God. Okay, I didn't write it down, so it went out my right ear. But Van Zandt is really cool. He's really on the right side of things. And he just came out with a memoir. Kindness. I didn't really look for it this week, but I noticed it. And so I actually have a couple of tiny little stories to share with you. Once again, I'm at the supermarket. And I was gonna make chicken enchiladas, and I decided to do it with a pre-roasted chicken. So I saw a beautiful one, took it to the self-checkout. And the woman in the self-checkout knows me, and she always says hello to me, and oh, I love what you're wearing. She's really sweet. Raina is her name. So I scanned the chicken, and it's $13.99 when the sign said $7.99. I went, oh, I don't want to pay $13.99. So I called Raina over. I said, oh, Raina, can we get rid of this? I'm going to go get the chicken for $7.99 instead. And then a couple walked up. They were not American, and they just drove right into my conversation with Raina and said, well, we have a problem with the chicken also. And then the woman just started talking and asking all these questions and causing disruption. And so I left my station to go pick out another chicken, and this woman keeps talking while Raina is trying to help me. So I held up my hand to the couple and I said, she's helping me first and then she'll be with you. And I kind of put a halt to their frenzy. She kind of winked at me. We got it fixed. She went over to my terminal and she said, I'm giving you the expensive chicken for $7.99. You handled that so well. You were so calm and polite. Thank you. I got the expensive chicken for $7.99. It was just really sweet. Starbucks. I got a Starbucks card for my birthday. By the way, I love a Starbucks card. So I walked up, but I couldn't decide, am I going to get a cold triple venti or a hot triple venti? And it was kind of empty, but then a man walked in and I said, you know what, you order. I'm trying to make up my mind. And he was very polite. And he said, are you sure? I'll wait. I said, no, let me just think about it. You go ahead and order. So then I made my decision, ordered it, went and sat down, opened my computer, wrote for 2 hours. It was very productive. But as he was leaving, he stopped by my table and he said, thanks so much. Just simple. He could have walked out the door, but he made a point of stopping and thanking me. Third thing, really small, but it lit me up. I'm leaving my street. There's a car in front of me. We're at a red light. A man goes to cross the street, and the woman in front of me pulled back a little bit to give him room. He was a man of color. It looked like maybe he was going to go out jogging or something. And when he got in front of her car, he flashed her this huge smile, kind of like Magic Johnson, and gave her the peace sign and said thank you. And then he went on his way. I just loved it. See, I really like these little things, people. Look for the little things. All right, now we're to quotes. This quote I found this week, and you know I like humor. This reminded me of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I actually posted it on Twitter just to be a smartass after something that she posted that awful face of hers and some stupid. First of all, she put up a Twitter indicating that Magic Johnson is still playing basketball. Hello? Then she's going on and on about socialism like it's communism. She doesn't even know what it is. All right, so here's the quote, and it's by Will Rogers. He said, never miss a good chance to shut up. I love that. Never miss a good chance to shut up. Will Rogers, thank you, I loved it. All right, so then the next one is about Donald Trump. And I found this one. It's by French author, Simone de Beauvoir. She wrote, what is an adult? It's a child blown up by age. Isn't that true? What is an adult? It's a child blown up by age. Simone de Beauvoir. I hope I pronounced it correctly. And then this is for the Republicans and Republican voters and the anti-vaxxers and the conspiracists. It's by a very famous speaker, coach, author named Zig Ziglar. He's very famous. He wrote, if you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. If you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. I really like today's quotes. So there you go. I want to say to new visitors, I would love it if you subscribed, if you liked this. I have much more coming, and I want to thank you. And as always, make peace, make memories. Look for the kindness, look for the good evidence, be the good evidence, and be the kindness. And if you notice, kindness is a word that's being discussed a lot these days. Not for me, it's not new for me, but it's taking off, which is good. So have a good week. We'll talk to you soon, and thank you. Thank you for all your great letters, too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.